Hi. Hello. Hey y'all. Well, it's a lot of you here, so while you're here, welcome to the Becky Brown Girl Show. I'm your host, Becky Brown Girl, and tonight we're going to talk about what you want to talk about. So let me know in the comments what you want to talk about. Um, I'm like trying to avoid what we doing for Kamala. Yeah, I knew that. I knew that was going to come up. I was trying to avoid a politics conversation. Actually, for any of you who were here 2 weeks ago, or whenever that was, that I had Thomas Varela on, he's going to come back and do a part two. I had a great conversation with him. So we're going to talk about something else, but in that realm, right? I think we're going to do that on the 14th, but don't quote me. It's tentative at this point. So I mean, we can talk about it, I guess. um, okay, I see a few of you saying Kamala. You know what I've been sort of wanting to talk about? Okay, not salutations, my Nubian sister. um, okay, with your black hair and your fat ass thighs. Who is that? Too cool. Hey. So let me see who's looking to join me. Okay, Ellis, California Jones. What would you in alignment? Unless you sent me that request by accident. Oh, I guess you didn't. Hi,
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm blessed.
So welcome. I've never seen you before, so welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me. What you guys was talking about?
So usually, right, I have a very specific um topic in mind, like when I'm doing the show. Like the last few weeks, last week I did 20 questions. So my guest that came on, I just was asking him kind of a bunch of random questions. So that was fun. Um, the week before was a political conversation. I usually try to avoid politics.
That's my wheelhouse.
Oh, is it? Okay. Well, you here. So what would you like to discuss?
I mean, I just want to know what I'm a Republican, right? So if you look at my page, yeah. So yes, I am.
No.
You can't talk. Y'all been talking politics without the other sides. That's not really politics.
No. Hold on. No. So to be fair, well, first of all, introduce yourself to the people. I can't tell you how they're gonna act in the comments, but introduce yourself to the people, and let's see where this conversation goes.
Um, okay, Ellis, California Jones, out here in San Diego. I'm a registered member of the Republican Party. Ran for office unsuccessfully in a super democratic city, which is the city I was born in. And, that's pretty much it. I don't agree with a lot of this stuff. The reason people usually get into politics is because they don't agree with something. So I don't agree with what the Republicans got to say for a certain amount, and definitely don't agree with what we're seeing from the Democrat Party. So that's kind of a little bit about myself. You know what I mean? I'm kind of in the center, especially
Okay.
right now.
No, because honestly, so I kind of work in in government space. So like I said, my show I really talk about all different type of topics, but there's certain topics because I know that they can be touchy, controversial that I like to avoid because I'm not letting this, mess up my day job, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Uh, but the conversation that we had a couple weeks ago was really more talking about like the importance of civic engagement. Um, it wasn't really a sort of a judgment on why one side is better than the other. We were just talking about the guy who I had on as a guest. We were talking about both parties' platforms. Now, at the time, Biden was still, um, like he was still running for president, right? Obviously, a lot has happened in this past week to change that, but um,
Yeah.
so I'm curious. You're a registered Republican. Would you like to say who you plan to vote for in the election and why, or do you feel that's too personal?
I mean, it's a personal question, but I would probably lean towards Trump, to be honest.
And what is
And a lot of
it about his
a lot.
platform that appeals to you?
The main thing, the difference between Republicans and Democrats, in my opinion, is that Republicans tend to do a lot of cutting, whereas Democrats add things, and there's a lot less repercussions when you're cutting something than when you're adding it, like specifically taxes and things like that. Some of the regulations they have on businesses, like, need to go. A lot of the money that we're giving away to different countries and that we're putting in different departments and areas, I think we need to kind of move that back towards the people that's in the country. You see a lot of black people. This isn't nothing new. So
Whoa,
you see
hold on. I gotta
yeah,
interrupt you for 1 second, right? Because have you read up on Project 2025?
that is not. Um, Project 25 comes from the Heritage Foundation, which is a super conservative organization, and that doesn't really align with Trump or the Republican Party officially. So you got a lot of Republicans who are against the Project 25, like the end of divorce and stuff like that. Ain't no real Republican gonna sit there and say they're trying to get rid of at fault divorce, or I think they're trying to end no fault divorce.
Yeah. So there's a
There's
whole
no,
bunch of.
yeah. Trump been divorced a million times. He's not for that. A lot of Republicans aren't for that. So I think there's been a media push to kind of align Project 25, which is very extreme, with mainstream Republicans, and that's not what we own. And so, like, I'm telling you right now, I'm not endorsing that. No Project
Yeah,
25.
but if you vote for him, you are endorsing that.
Well,
Because hold on. He's not officially saying that's his platform, right? He's trying to distance himself from it. But the people who are a part of that foundation,
the Heritage
many of
Foundation.
them were from, right? Many of them were from his administration, right? So and actually that was something that we discussed on the live I mentioned a few weeks ago. And they are the thing is that they're tenets that they've been trying to advance in past Republican administrations, right? Um, like ending social security, all of the entitlement programs that they refer to. Um, the like getting rid of the Department of Education. You don't like we don't think that's extreme. I'm just asking. Do you have kids?
No,
If you have kids, would you send them to public school, or would you expect to send them to public school, or you would probably want to send them to private school because
I would
that's
rather.
costly?
I would want to homeschool them or try to get them into a private school, just knowing I've been through public schools my whole life. So I think that there needs to be more competition involved in public schools, and that's not happening right now because people just got guaranteed jobs, right? So, and when you got something that's guaranteed, it kind of takes away from a lot of factors that go into teaching, obviously, right? You got people who just sitting there getting a check, and it's hard to get rid of some of them. So it's just the Department of Education. A lot of these departments, we're paying people to give us money when you can just now with technology and stuff. Well, we're paying people to administer services, not necessarily give us money. A lot of these services we can do now with technology that we have. So it's just becoming bloated, and it's becoming a bureaucracy in which people are getting into these jobs and we can't get rid of them because the technology has passed them. So now we're constantly spending more tax money that we can be putting into programs like getting a lot of our peoples off the street. Where I'm here in San Diego is a lot of homeless people, a lot of black homeless people. Why don't we got no money going to them?
Did you know? Did you know that the Trump appointed justices on the Supreme Court just ruled homelessness a crime? Did you know that?
They didn't rule that it was a crime, but they said that cities will be able to implement if a city passes something. That did you not?
Go ahead.
Yeah. So if the city passes an ordinance, right, that says that we're going to criminalize this particular circumstance, then they'll be able to go ahead and enforce that. And then before a city can pass that, you got to vote for that. Like right here in San Diego, we voted for the people who put them into position to pass these laws, and we voted for some of these laws to get on the books. So the Supreme Court is basically saying if that law is on the books, then the city can enforce that. When I ran for office, homelessness was a big issue. And the biggest problem, right, when I speak to everybody, the biggest problem is that people don't want to take the services that we're providing. They rather take that option to live on the street. And we have to take away that option because we don't want to have kids growing up living in tents. We don't want to have kids growing up living around people who's able to smoke dope, do drugs, fatty, crystal in front of them while they're going to school. We don't want to have these homeless encampments out there where they can kind of, we had a problem with homeless encampments by school zones and stuff where kids have to walk through. I grew up in the hood. I grew up walking past people doing drugs and everything. That has an effect on people. It had an effect on people I grew up with, being exposed to that. So we have to have a place for them to go. But once we have a place for you to go, you got to get up and you got to get up off that street, brother. This is a public street. The public votes
Who's
for that,
pay,
right?
who's paying for these places for them
The
to go?
same people, or who's paying for the places for them to go? The same money that they're putting in different departments. That's where that money goes. We're paying for it with our tax money.
So right, I know that. But what departments do you think are where money is being wasted? Okay, so you mentioned the Department of Education.
They're wasting a lot of money in that. Department of Welfare, they're wasting a lot of money in that. Why not give the money straight to the people who need welfare? Why we got to give it to this person to go on a computer and not answer a call, put us on wait for 20, 30 minutes? Why can't we eliminate that and get that money straight to the people? Cut off those jobs in between. That's what the department
It
is.
sounds a little bit like you're talking about entitlement programs, a little bit. A little bit. Isn't that the same thing that you're saying that you want to get rid of?
A lot of these big departments we got to get rid of. Energy departments, the military veterans, the money that they spend to administer it, the administration behind it, not necessarily the services that go to the people who need it.
So how
The
do you think that's going
administration.
to function, though? How are these programs going to function if there's nobody there to administer them?
Technology. Everything is done on an app now. Let me tell you how they do things. They will create a department. Let's look at the environmental agency, right? They got a whole department for that, right?
Yes, go ahead.
They
Yes.
will
I'm
create
going to
a.
add somebody else to the
Okay, go ahead.
conversation, by the way, but go ahead. Yep.
They will
Okay.
create a whole. It's like they create a middleman to administer and give out the services that they have. That's what these departments are. That's why they call it a bureaucracy. So if we could eliminate a lot of that, not necessarily eliminate the services, but eliminate the bureaucracy that is administering the services. But see, when you say that, just like you went and said, oh, you want to get rid of entitlement programs. And that's not what I said. I'm just saying that we need to cut some of these programs and the administration that's going behind it because we're wasting a lot of money.
Okay, but hold on. The thing is that the programs that you are referencing, right? I I don't know what you do for a living now. I know you said you ran for office. I don't know if you still are like in the government
I'm an
space, but
inspector.
like, but nobody wants to pay taxes, right? I mean, hi, IRS, if you're watching, I pay my taxes, right? Nobody really wants to pay, right? But you think it's fair that people who are, uber wealthy aren't paying their fair share, and that's being put on the backs of the middle class. And furthermore, your homeboy increased the debt $8 trillion. Your homeboy did that. I'm assuming you voted for him before he did that. Not the Democrats. He did it.
You said, who's my homeboy? My homeboy is locked up right now. What
Trump,
homeboy
the
you
one
talking
you
about?
said you were going to vote for.
Nah, my homeboys is locked up right now, man. I got a few homies, but they all doing time.
Did they
Trump's
do a
not my homeboy.
crime?
I ain't never met him, Becky. That's not my homie. I
But
mean,
you're voting for him
Is
now.
Kamala your homie?
Yup, I'm voting
But
for.
that's not your that's not your homie
It's
though.
we doing semantics now. We doing semantics.
No,
Right.
I'm
We
Okay.
just
doing
saying, but
semantics.
that's not
Can
my
I?
homeboy.
Right.
Can I?
But that's who I'm supporting in the upcoming election.
But just because you
And
support somebody doesn't mean that's your friend, and it doesn't mean that's your homeboy, and that's the problem too. A lot of people think
okay,
these people are supposed to be our friends and stuff, and these ain't our friends. These are
wait,
people that we
it's
want to
not my
put
friend.
off.
You voted for him though, didn't you? You said you voted for him, right?
Yep, twice.
Okay. So that's all I needed to know. Like you voted for somebody who increased the debt. Now, to be fair, we were in a pandemic. So part of that was attributable to, funding that went towards a pandemic, although he poorly managed that. But um, but it was also the major tax cut that he gave to benefit like the 1%. I don't know if you in the 1%, but I know most of the people on here ain't. So
I'm not the
Can
one
I?
percent, ma'am. I'm actually. You guys look into my backstory. It's not what you would consider the typical Republican or conservative or whatever you would think.
Can I ask? Can I chime in real
okay,
quick?
so I'm gonna let Paul jump in here. So introduce
I,
yourself, and
my name is Paul. I don't want to get into
Well,
all
let
that,
me
but
ask you this though: did that offend you, of anything? Did you feel offended or anything? 'Cause
me or
understand people are entitled to do whatever they want to do, right?
oh,
It's currently it's a free country. Currently,
currently?
I don't know if that's going to be the case, next year.
do you have a fear of like us losing our rights?
Yep. You should
We
have a fear
already
of losing your
have
rights.
been.
You should have a fear of losing your rights. You should. Let me.
We already
Can I?
have
Can
been.
I just? Can I just ask? I just want to ask. What's up? What's up, bro? Um, the one thing we don't want to do right now is we don't. I want it to be a contentious argument. I want it to be like we yelling at each other. It's a conversation, right? So
But there's
I totally disagree with
potential
you.
for it to be contentious. You got to be aware and accepting of that, just because of the nature of what we're in.
Right, but I'm just saying me from my point of view. I'm not trying to make this a contentious conversation. I just want to have a conversation, right? I just wanted to ask a couple questions. Like one of the things you said was about the homeless with them making that a crime or whatever. Have you ever talked to anybody that's homeless? Have you ever like pulled up, talked to them besides just like give them $1? I'm
Yeah.
just asking. I'm not even trying to be funny.
No.
What?
I have, and I was homeless myself.
Okay.
You know.
Oh, so you were homeless. Okay,
Yeah.
so good. What is the biggest, from the people that you talked to, from your experience, what is the biggest issue with shelters?
The restrictions they have on the shelters. A lot of people can't be with their family. They can't be with their girl. You got a girlfriend. So the restrictions they have on the shelters are a big problem. Another problem with men is also restrictions based, but like the curfew and things like that. It's like you lose your humanity going to these shelters. I've been to prison. I did a long time in prison. I was in there 12 years.
Okay.
I understand
So,
completely about being in a space where you don't have no control. And I think the shelters do a very bad job, and that's bipartisan, of being able to humanize these people and put them in a position where they can succeed and have something.
right.
And both sides do a terrible job of that.
So so why would you think that the the way to fix that homelessness is to lock them up? Because as you said, I've talked to homeless people. I'm a photographer. I love doing street photography. I've had plenty in-depth conversations with homeless people, right? And one of the biggest things are number one, the crime that goes on in there, the molestation that goes on in there. Like it's basically like jail. When you talk to different homeless people, they're like, "I'm safe on the streets." People be robbing people, be deboning people in there. So you're blaming the situation instead of fixing the situation. You're thinking it's okay for states to pass laws to criminalize the people that are just trying to survive instead of fixing the actual issue. Do you understand how that's kind of backwards, or that doesn't really make sense? Like you're criminalizing the people instead of fixing the problem. Because if shelters were cool or decent, you think they would rather stay outside when it's negative 20 degrees outside or live under the railroad tracks if they were actually. I mean, they're not going to be pristine conditions, but again, it's about you're putting the horse in front of the carriage in front of the horse, and you're not really understanding that there's an issue there that needs to be addressed. The reason crime is high is because there's lack of jobs, there's lack of sustainability. There's things that I'm not saying I'm not condoning crime. I'm just saying, but the reason there are crime is because there's crimes in areas that are high is because there's lack of resources. And if you create those resources, then crime goes down. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's not you're and again, I'm not glorifying crime. I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying that you have to look at the issues that's causing that instead of saying, get them, lock them up, don't wait the key. The problem's still going to be there.
Yeah. I don't think that's what the Supreme Court law specifically saying, that we're going to criminalize homelessness. I just saying that they're going to let the states decide on how they're going to deal with their particular homelessness. And I think that the city and the state, who knows the people the best, should be able to make that arrangement. Here in San Diego, you're not going to jail for homelessness. We're not allowing that. We're not going to allow that. But if you're doing certain crimes within that space, then you could probably go to jail.
I agree with
you. See what
okay, you do the crime.
And a lot of homeless people get taken advantage of by people who prey upon them in that space. You see what I'm saying? They lose their stuff. They constantly have to, getting things stolen from them because they're in a position of instability. But
so what I'm saying is, why would we even be in favor of somebody who would even makes it an option for a state to say, it's up to you? I'm gonna say you, like red states might be more towards doing that, and blue states might be like, no, San Diego's cool. San Diego's a cool ass city. You know what I mean? Like, I've been to San Diego. I love San Diego. But there's gonna be other cities or other states that might be like, yeah, like drop the bomb on them. It shouldn't even be an option that someone from the presidential seat could say, do what you want in your state, but something like that. It shouldn't even be an option.
Let me speak on what you said about San Diego real quick, because people got to understand this, that you're right. We are a cool city, and we got cool people on both sides, Democrat and Republican. So when you somebody who's from some of these areas a little bit more reasonable, you can't say that we're like somebody from New York, you know what I mean, or somebody from Alabama, Republican, Democrat, regardless. We're completely different. You see what I'm saying? So that's one thing people got to realize. We're not all Republicans. We're not the same, bro.
No,
we're not.
Can I just interject for? I just want to ask a question about.
That's good to know, because not all of us is unreasonable like that. But go ahead.
Okay, so again, it's a fair point. It was really a point of curiosity to me because, no, I don't think the Democrats, automatically should earn the votes of Black people. I think, or should be given the votes rather. I think they should earn the votes, right? But again, the conversation that we had a few weeks ago, the gentleman that was on here speaking with me talked about how politicians care about voters, not like people broadly. Black people get frustrated, right, by the fact that they perceive politicians maybe not to care about their issues as much, right? But the point that he was making is they care about the people who vote, because the people who vote are the ones who put them in office, not just a random community of people. And it's not to say, like, if you're a good-hearted, good person, maybe you care, but you're not going to get into position unless people vote for you. So the people that are very invested in what's happening in their community, and then will take that passion and desire to a poll to vote, those are the people that they're going to pay attention to. Those are the voices that are going to, the squeakiest wheel is going to get the oil, right? Yes. So if people just sit back and complain about what's not happening in their community and don't vote, nobody's going to care.
That's the problem. That's the problem.
And you know what? Here's one thing I'll tell you from the Republican side is that I've been telling them we got a Black issue forever since I jumped in there. You see what I'm saying? And continue to do so. We also got a woman issue. We got a lot of issues. What the Republicans seen in 2020 was that Black people pretty much, in my opinion, carried Joe Biden into this presidency. You see what I'm saying? Very handedly. And so for a long time, they didn't want to admit it, right? And they denied it and all this stuff, all the numbers and all that. But as you can see, they've been targeting and reaching out way more now than they was then. And that's the power of the vote and having leverage. You see what I'm saying? To where it was nothing that you can say or protest or nothing. It was all in votes. And once all the black people went out there and voted for Biden, it was a wake up call for Republicans. And you had a lot of people like me sitting there like, see, I've been telling you. You know what I mean?
But what's your go ahead.
The point is that the vote is leverage, and it's for the politicians, right? To want to get your vote to sit here and talk to different people and speak to them. I spoke to homeless people before I ran, but after I ran, way more than anybody that I was running against. You know what I mean? Because I come from this community, so I know who to speak to. I've been out there, and that's the whole point of voting. But we can't be taking away the leverage power that we have in our vote by just handing it to people. It should be to where people have to earn your vote, and that's where the leverage comes in. And that's why you need Republicans and Democrats, black Republicans and black Democrats, to be competing for you guys' vote, so that
what has Republicans done to earn our vote? What have they done to earn our vote? Name like 3 things that they've done to earn the black vote.
You mean nationally?
Yeah, nationally. Nationally. Yeah, let's start with nationally because that's what we're.
Let me tell you like this. Honestly, I think they haven't done enough. That's why. So
why would you vote for Trump then? If they haven't, name one thing that they've done nationally.
Oh, I think that Trump will put that money into American stuff more than he would do like giving it to migrants to come and stay in hotels and giving it to Ukraine. And that's my big issue. Is money, and how I feel like they're giving it to people who haven't been here long as us, haven't built this country like we have. You know what I mean? They don't even talk about reparations at all. We have Democrats in office for so long, and they haven't even passed nothing.
So you think Republicans is more apt to give you reparations than Democrats are?
No, I'm saying that with leverage, you can be able to move the needle a little bit more than just saying, oh, we're going to vote for them regardless, and it doesn't matter, because then you're taking for granted.
So the thing about again, another point that he made, I wish he was here. he articulated his points much more eloquently than I am. But the other thing that he was saying is that it's not just about voting. Like he said that politicians focus on super voters. Voters, excuse me, are people who not only vote in the presidential election every 4 years, but they vote in the local elections, in the state elections. Those are the people that they can reliably count on to vote, because the campaigns cost money, right? So they're going to focus their dollars where they can get the most benefit, rather than just focus on a broad swath of people who may or may not show up at the poll. They may not be registered to vote unless they're like independently wealthy, and most people coming from our community are not. They have to, they get their money from donations. So the people that are donating are the people that are super invested in what's happening. And if there's not enough of us, right, not just voting, but after we vote and they're in office, following up and seeing what they're voting for and making sure that they're representing your issues and your concerns, and like getting a coalition of the people from your community together and say, these are the things that matter to us, and keeping the pressure applied on these electeds. Most people don't do that. You vote and then you're like, well, they didn't do shit. Well, you have to apply pressure. You're right. It shouldn't be a foregone conclusion that you're going to get our vote. What have you done for me lately? Also, we have to manage our expectations, because they're not going to be able to do everything that we want either. People sometimes have unrealistic expectations about what a politician can do. They're working with a whole bunch of different people who have a lot of different competing agendas. So the more pressure you apply, if you show up and vote for the people who represent your interests, you get enough of them in these legislative bodies, then maybe you see some, progress on the things that matter to you.
Can I say one more thing, and then I'm gonna bow out, brother? I'm letting you know, and I've been in plenty arguments with friends for over 30, 40 years. I'm disgusted with the Democrat Party, disgusted, because they have no strategy, they have no backbone, they let the Republicans punk them all the time, and I'm tired of them. However, like I'm more into, I can never be Republican. I find myself being more independent, right? But the independents don't have enough power to move the needle. You know what I'm saying? So right now, so I can vote in the primaries and stuff like that, I'm Democrat. But I really feel like America, there's other countries who have 7, 8 parties, right? We have 2. We need a working class party for more Americans are working class people. Get up every day, go to work, And we need a party that represents that group of people, that really has an agenda for those type of people. Until we really have that, I don't like either one of the parties. However, right now it's about a democracy thing. It's not about taxes. People keep talking about taxes and we need to keep the money here. I agree with those type of things. Illegal immigrants, because we're paying taxes that they're coming here and using our resources, not paying. I agree with those type of things.
You
right?
think Trump is trying to start a kingship or something like that?
He definitely is. He said it. But what I'm saying is the main thing, again, I don't want this to be too long. The main thing is I am disgusted with Democrats. I'm really not like, because at least the Republicans have a backbone. At least they'll back their people. At least they'll stand up for their people. And they have an agenda, a strategy. They stick to it. They build their base. Democrats all over the place. This thing right now that we've done within 3 months of whatever, they should have been told Biden to step down. But even though I have my issues with it, I'm still voting for. It's not even about anyone it's about democracy right now. And right now, the things that Trump wants to do, he's telling you in advance. He's telling you before he even gets there. He doesn't even want to leave if he loses again. If he can, he's gonna be like, I'm not leaving, make me leave. He wants immunity as a president. If I do any type of crime, I want to pass a law that says you can't do nothing to me. That is a dictator, bro.
Hold on.
Come on.
This point right here that West just made. I mean, look what just happened to oh God. West said
Massey.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I couldn't remember her first name. It's Sonia, right? Okay.
I'm disgusted about
Black
that.
people voting a man that wants to give all cops immunity against prosecution, is crazy.
Come on, man.
Exactly.
You talking about taxes and you know that he wants to give 100% immunity to someone who doesn't have
so anybody can just
accountability?
walk up in anywhere, shoot you, and there's no consequence.
And what if that was your
that doesn't
and you own a building
feel any type of way?
Right. You get tax breaks, but then someone kills your daughter and now you can't do anything because a cop has 100% immunity. How you gonna feel about that building when your daughter's in a coffin? You really gonna care about taxes?
I got 2 assaults on officers that actually gave me extra time in prison. So I'm not a fan of the police.
Okay.
At all.
As you shouldn't be.
I wasn't endorsed by the San Diego Police Officers Association. They endorsed the Democrat. So let me tell you guys how this works with the politics. Honestly, I'm gonna play devil's advocate. And I'm gonna talk about Hillary Clinton. Okay. Right?
We don't like her.
No, hold on. I forget about her. Talk about
I'm about
Harris.
Can I make my point, please, ma'am? And so a lot of Republicans, they will say, what about Hillary? Oh, she's a communist. She's a socialist. Hillary Clinton probably got more businesses than everybody on this chat combined. Ultimate capitalist.
Agreed.
But let me tell you, once they look at the numbers, this is what the strategist does. They look, these politicians, Trump, Biden, a lot of these people are normal people, regular people, right? These strategists come, they look at the numbers, like you said, and they look, okay, we got the Midwest. We have the rednecks, the hillbillies, the black section, the Muslims. Then they try to push a message that's going to appeal to these people. And at that point, it leaves that politician's desk. You see what I'm saying? So I just think a lot of people get caught. We could say that about Kamala. I've been seeing so much stuff about Kamala. Kamala was on my appeal when I went and appealed. I actually fought a case against her. So I know very well about Kamala, right? She's also in my auntie sorority. So I know both sides of it. But I'm not going to sit here and try to, put some message. The point I'm making is that there's a lot of spin going on, and we got to focus on the actual things that they're actually going to do when they get in there. And, looking up stuff like Project 25. It'd be better to look up Agenda 47. If you really want to start attacking Trump, look up Agenda 47, because when you say Project 25, you can instantly get hit with that's not his or whatever. Well, look up his agenda, find some of those issues, and then argue on those. It's called Agenda 47. I'm pretty sure you could find some stuff to look at.
He talked about it on the.
No, I'm just saying, but that's a better argument. You know what I mean? What I'm here for, there's 2 things at play right now. Yes, I'm a Republican, but also I'm into I did most of my time running against. When I ran for office, I did most of the time running in a Democratic, a district. So I speak with Democrats all the time. We had a lot of things in common. The main thing that I'm doing is trying to get black people more involved. That's the whole thing. I'd rather y'all get involved hating me for the shit that I'm talking about on the Republican side, as long as you going and voting. Because before we can do anything, we got to have the vote, the collective number. When I was running for office, you know how many black people I couldn't even really reach out to because they not even registered to vote. I had to get them to register to vote, and it takes time. You see what I mean? A lot of time that I didn't have, but I still took the time to do it. So what I would love is to see people like you guys and to get more involved so that we can even have the numbers to play football, bro. We don't even have the numbers to play football right now. And that's what I'm on.
We do need to get to the polls. I agree with you on that, but for you to, I'm like, you definitely gonna get. I mean, the fact that you're saying what you're saying, I totally disagree. But the number thing is an issue. I'm campaigning myself. I'm be out there. I'm definitely, my support is behind Kamala. And whether I do like, again, I told you I don't like how the Democrats are moving, but my support is still behind her. My support is still behind her. Period. And they even though I don't like the Democrats on the whole, the way they're moving and their strategy, they still have things that are going to benefit me and our people more than Trump is going to. And he's proven that he's an idiot. He's an idiot. He doesn't. I mean, the January 6th, he denies it, but he did it. Like, how could you even follow somebody like that? You know what I'm saying? There's so many things about him that are just like not. Deplorable, is morally wrong. He says the worst things. He's like totally disgusting human being. I can never vote for anyone like that. And the people that support him are like proven like this straight up racist that they don't even, when you ask, I'm sure you've seen this stuff on the show. They might be sketch comedies, but they'll ask these people, go to these rallies and ask them regular questions. They have no idea what they're talking about. They'll all answer this. But they do that. That's just driven by hate.
You can do that on both sides, and that's what I say. That's what it gets into messaging, the media, and at this point, it's who has the money to be able to push the message. But it's what's behind the message, and we're gonna get lost, on both sides. We're gonna get lost going for that on each side.
It's not about money. Sometimes I'm in Jersey, and in Newark, when Raz was running against the major money, Raz Brock was running against major money, he won. You know why? Because the people believed that he could do the job. He's doing a great job. And the other guy had tons of money behind. They were throwing money at him because they wanted him to win. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes it's not about money. Sometimes it's about a magic moment. Sometimes it's about a moment. This is a great moment in history right here, where like sometimes it'd be like, listen, man, it's not just about the money. It's about the little people winning.
Hold on. I just have one question. Hold on.
I'm done.
Hold on. I have one question for you, and then I'm going to let Daylor speak. My question is, besides Paul, because obviously I know he's already supporting her, do either of you have a problem with a woman being president?
Nah. And Kamala could do the job for sure. She can do. A lot of people think that she's not qualified because they see her, she sound like she was tired, mumbling or something. They gonna show that over and over again. I told you I had a case that we fought against her. And when it comes to her doing her job, which at the time was locking a lot of brothers up, right?
Oh, we're not doing that either.
But listen,
he's not doing that.
Just saying, but when it comes to her doing her job,
right?
One thing is not questioned is, can she do her job? And that's what she can do. So I think she's definitely qualified to do it. She's the vice president, so of course she's qualified to do it. You know what I mean? And to be honest, way better than Joe Biden. Way by far. Joe Biden, in my opinion, was actually a racist. It's actually a segregationist, but that's a whole different thing. He's gone. Good luck to that brother. I hope he's healthy.
No, he's still president.
I'm president. Yeah, but he's pretty much,
he's still president for 6 more months. I just heard him talking about it.
No, I'm saying he's addressing me. Well, I'm for this election thing.
Leaving. he can't run. Well, now he can. I mean, he's not running, but he's still the president. He's not resigning from the presidency. So, but let me let Daylor say his piece.
I'm gonna log on so somebody else can get on. All right, peace. I said my piece. All right, brothers, peace.
Thank you.
On now. Yeah.
Okay. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, introduce yourself, please.
Oh, I'm Daylor. I live in North Carolina, and I work I do government contracting for work, and what else? I'm into politics like everyone. I used to run campaigns for people in Baltimore City, and that's about it.
Yeah.
I'm,
So
I'm a reformed Democrat. Let me put it that way. So I used to carry water for the Democratic Party, but then I realized so many things, and I just don't anymore.
what
What
what did
that
what
you
did you realize?
Um, First of all, with the corruption, let me tell you something. I lived in Baltimore City. When I worked in Baltimore, I used to tell people, this is 2017, 2016. I used to tell people that their favorite politicians will end up in jail. I would say randomly, I'll go on shows. Like, you can actually pull up my Facebook post of saying this years ago, right? Because when I got into politics, I just saw how literally few people are draining the community dry. Literally. Like this, the cities are so corrupt. I can talk about Baltimore, I can talk about Atlanta, but like these cities, the corruption is ridiculous. Let me give you one
I
way of how they steal money
okay.
from you.
Let me just hold on 1 minute.
Go ahead.
You cannot look. I know I have a strong opinion about what's his name, right?
Who?
I, but I don't want to get into like slandering people and making
I didn't call any
accusations like
names. I didn't
let
call
me
any names. I just want to give
okay.
you. I didn't call names. I'm not calling no names. I just want to give you. But you know, people have gone to jail though, so I don't need to call names. Mayor went to jail. It's not about. This is not slandering. It's factual information. So the former police commissioner went to jail. Yeah. So senators have gone to jail. State senators. So. But I'm not calling names. I'm not making up stuff. I deal with facts. These are people that have gone to jail, so they know what I'm talking about. I help, never mind. But people that I know have gone to jail. It's not even a question about for corruption. But go ahead and say what you want to say.
No, so
But that's why you asked me why I left. I just saw this, like, it's ridiculous. The vultures
so
sucking the blood out of
you
people.
mean to tell me that you don't think that there's corruption in I
he
And where?
yeah,
I think that you can find corruption um across the spectrum. So let's
I will
just leave it at that
I
because
speak to
we're
what I
not going to
know.
we're not going to talk about 34 felony counts.
I
We're
mean,
not going to talk about that.
you're right about that. I'm not here to tell people what I'm just telling you. I speak to what I know, and the
felony
reason why is.
wasn't
Go
corrupt.
ahead. Go ahead.
It was him paying somebody
Yeah.
money that he had, something like that.
Look, I'm not trying to
I don't think it
defend
had to do with
anybody.
corruption.
Yeah, I'm not trying to defend anybody. I'm just speaking to the corruption. But you see, the thing about it is that when you bring that corruption, it strikes people in the nerve instead of wanting to find out about, because I'm literally about to expose how the cities are corrupt. But I think there's something about there's no need to defend people that are stealing money from your kids. I don't understand that. That's the one that drives me crazy. I used to be a teacher for free in Baltimore. I taught for 4 years in Baltimore City for free. They didn't have enough teachers, so I'll go in. Not a teacher. I'll call myself an instructor. But I was teaching. I was teaching recess, so I used to bring my friends to come in and help talk to the kids. This was from like 2016, 2017, or 2015 to like 2019 to come talk to the kids. Help. I taught in different schools, like they call them type 1 schools, like very poor schools. I don't want to call their names. And a lot of people know this about me, anyways. And if you see how the school board steals from people, I'll give you an example. Why does it cost $800,000 to clean a school in Baltimore City? Don't get me. I'm a government contractor, so I don't mind taking the money because I do the same thing. I
Okay, so then
overcharge the government.
why are you then why that's your bread and
No,
butter, so why would you
no,
why?
but
So okay, I
why would
hold on.
I'm not?
I
I wouldn't charge. I wouldn't charge. I wouldn't do that. That's pure corruption. And you would see that people are making. There's something they call IEPs. You
let me
guys know
ask you a
IEPs?
question. Let me
Yeah,
ask you a question. Are you voting?
yeah, yeah. I vote all the time.
Okay.
Yeah.
I want to know why. So, okay, you're telling me that government is you seeing corruption on one side of
Yeah.
government, and so you're going to vote for the other side
No,
because
no,
there's
no,
no
no.
corruption on
No,
that side.
that's not what I
Is that what you're
said. I
telling
said I'm a
me?
reform. I vote zigzag. I vote on policy. I don't care about it. Is the
Who you
policy
voting
makes sense
for?
to me?
Who you voting for?
I'm still reading people's policies to know what makes sense. Yeah,
So
I
it's
haven't
not.
decided yet.
So okay, are you registered? So are you registered a Republican now, or no? You an
I'm
independent?
independent.
You can
Yeah.
say it, brother. You can say it.
No,
No, no, no, no. I'm an independent.
he said he's an independent. Hold on. What I wanted to say was, besides that, because some of y'all are talking about, we'll talk about something else. I've asked repeatedly if y'all wanted to talk about something else in the comments, because remember, I came here and said I don't have a specific topic I want to talk about. So naturally, we went into a hot topic of conversation. So if y'all want to talk about something else, let me know in the chat, please, because I'd happily move on from this, please. I'm just saying, if it's something else.
Politics is dirty, and a lot of people don't want to get into it, but
Yeah.
it has to be done. It has to be done. You know, it has to be done. It has to be discussed, because so many times we don't speak on it, especially in the Black community. There'll be so much stuff and traumas that go on.
Talk about something else and not give me an idea then. Y'all killing me. Sorry, go ahead.
I'm just saying,
sorry, go ahead.
we don't speak on a lot of these things in our community, and then we see these white folks get up there and start speaking about it. Now it's a hot topic issue, and it's just like, it's sad. We gotta hash this out amongst ourselves, our differences and stuff, and then put it to these people to be able to represent us. That's what I honestly believe in.
You realize you
I just
didn't
need
name, you realize you didn't name one thing though that Trump's like did for you that you really like name.
You know what though? I really do kind of want to. Yeah, I can't.
Trump
This is
fam
killing me
like
right
that.
now.
You said what?
I was like, obviously supporting him over a few other candidates, but it's kind of waned a little bit because I just felt like he was hiring more people who was in the establishment. I thought he was an outsider coming in, and he started to hire a lot of people who've been in politics for a long time, and so it just kind of it lessened a little bit. You know what I mean? The outsider thing, and then once you get in there, you're in, right? So there's some things that rub me the wrong way, but I just don't think that the agenda that they're pushing now, especially for men, guys like me work with their hands, construction, blue collar, people who are in the private industry versus the nonprofit sector. It's been doing it's terrible for us right now. You know what I mean?
What's your name, bro?
My name is
What's your
Ellis,
name?
California Jones.
Ellis, I was listening to you talk, and I'm not gonna lie, you said something once, I can't remember what it was. I'm like, did he really mean it? Because you said something that was not common. Like, a lot of people don't really talk about politics the way you're talking about it. They talk about politics based like reality TV, like, oh, the shade room might post something. Oh, this person had a clap back. That was a good clap back. Oh, she said something. Oh, he said something. He sparked. I just look at it and I cringe.
Yeah.
Because that's, man, what you said about the ways affecting contractors and the ways affecting people that own businesses, the economy, it's all over the place. People
I
that
gotta
run
stop you
businesses.
right now.
Go
Hold
ahead.
on.
We're in the
Did
bull.
Go ahead.
We're
y'all
in the bull
not
market.
forget that we went through a pandemic? That who managed that? Trump. Like, I don't understand where y'all think this inflation just magically appeared from. We were in a fucking pandemic.
That's not what
Because he handed
that's not
out.
what that's not
Hold
what
on.
inflation came
Hold
from.
on.
But go
Hold
ahead.
on. Because
Yeah.
he handed out checks, right? He handed out checks that he wrote his name on. Oh, well, I'm voting for Big T because he was giving out money when he was in office. We were in a fucking pandemic.
Well, he also raised the standard deduction. There was a few other things he did. He made 100% working capital. I don't know if you know what working capital is, but like, I got tools. I'm an inspector. I got a tool belt. I could write all that equipment off. I could hire more people. I could get another truck. I could hire the homie who just got out. He don't got to get a government job because we can't get government jobs. You see what I'm saying? So it's a lot that you're kind of missing. But
Who is we?
the people that I like,
Yeah.
when I said I hired the homie, meaning my homie who was locked up just like I was. Me and him, we can't get government jobs. We got to go out there and work in the private sector, and which is our fault. But we have to go and get it how we live. So when you do things like write off 100% working capital, that means I could write off my Leica Disto, which is a measuring device. It costs $600. I could write that off. I could write off a hammer. I could write off a jackhammer. I could
You could have did that anyway.
No, you can't.
No, you couldn't do that.
You couldn't do that at
You
that time.
can't. You can't write off. So before, it wasn't until Trump came to office that you could write off expenses. You trying to tell me?
No. He made it 100%. And so the point I'm making is that he made it more, and he also moved that towards small businesses. Remember, you needed to be a big corporation. He moved it to small businesses, single member LLCs, all these
corporate taxes,
all
21%.
the that came out, barbers and all that.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, if we're going to talk, that's why we get past all the
Yep.
media stuff and let's talk about the numbers. Now, and one thing I always do is I try to give the other side a little bone. One thing we don't know about Kamala is her policies yet,
That's
right? So
true.
she's in a space where she can really, really appeal to people like me and this brother, but she has to be business friendly. You see what I'm saying? Because
So
we can't really attack her on that right now because we don't know where she lies.
Okay. Something else that was talked about in that prior conversation was about how, like, somebody asked, well, what about the Black agenda? As you can see, right, it's very hard for us to align on what we prioritize, right? I would assume that all of us would agree we don't want to potentially get shot by police and they face no consequence. I would say that we can collectively agree on that, right? And that's more likely to happen to us than it is to other races of people. So, when they identified police reform as a priority, maybe that's something that would go on a Black agenda. But we can't
mm,
even get in alignment on what should be a priority for us. We're only looking at individually how we're being impacted. That's what it sounds like for the two of you. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't care, right? I'm saying that if you're only looking at your individual situation and not how this administration or that administration could potentially affect us as a collective, then you're still part of that collective, and you're gonna end up getting screwed too.
That's a good point. But like I said, I was able to hire my homie. I was able to put people to work. I was able to get a job. A lot of other people, we don't all work government jobs. We don't all work for nonprofits. We don't all like a lot of us work as waiters. We work as Uber drivers. We work as construction workers. Not all of us went to college and got degrees and got financial sector jobs. You know what I'm saying? Where you can make a percentage off the money that you give to first-time home buyers. Not all of us have those type of jobs. You see, so collectively, Black people work with our hands. We're blue collar workers collectively, and
But
that's how it helps.
you're putting that
No,
in
no, but
front
look, Black people are
democracy, though.
no, 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 no,
I understand some of those
not
things
the
you're saying.
front though. I
I'm
don't
my
wanna put,
own business too. I have an LLC, but you're putting that in front of democracy, though.
I don't.
That's the issue. You're putting money and tax breaks over someone saying, "I want to give 100% immunity to someone who
yeah, but it's not.
kills somebody."
That's
That's
a straw man argument.
that's bullshit. I
Those,
disagree with him
Yeah.
on that.
those,
Why are
those
we
are
talking about
I
things
lies.
that's not
disagree
possible?
with him on. But
If he,
But it,
47.
it's
but
the fact
You
that
know
he
what's on
wants to
Agenda
do it.
47? Do you know what's on Agenda
guys,
47?
guys,
I'm looking
The
at
same
Agenda
thing that
guys,
you just
47
said.
right
guys, let's
now.
have we can't be
I
talking about
disagree with
things.
that.
How does that work? Tell me,
Let me
tell
Because
me
let me.
how.
it has to go
Oh, go
through
ahead.
legislation, it has to pass through
Yeah,
laws
then
and,
can we
all
then
stuff
what we
like that.
talking
But
about?
it's
So
the
Trump
fact that
just
he
said why
wants,
we
the fact
that's
that
why I don't have
he
this conversation.
wants to.
It's not possible. Why are we talking about things that are
What do
not possible? He cannot do
you
that.
mean
Exactly.
Police
he
officers
can't do
already
it?
have. They already.
You
So
think
hold on.
you
Hold on.
think you think Jewish people thought that they couldn't be
Hold
in
on.
ovens? You
Hold
think they
I,
on.
couldn't think that?
you're
Hold
having
You
hypo.
don't need
on.
anything is
Never
possible.
mind, dog.
Anything is possible.
What does
Anything is
that
possible. You can't say
mean? What do
that
you
he
mean
can't
anything
do
is
that.
possible?
You can't
Of
Hold
course,
say
on.
he
anything is
can't do that.
possible.
Hold on. One at a time, right? Really quickly.
Yeah,
If the Republicans get control of Congress
yeah,
and the presidency,
yeah.
they're
Yes,
going to push the legislation that they think is a priority. If he
correct.
decides this is a priority piece of legislation,
He
then
won't have the House though, because
So
if he wins, he's going to lose in 2026.
you know
He's going to lose
what
the
he's going
House.
to
no,
have.
but
I
even
just
if they
said
do, hold on. I want to go through. Even if they do, I want to hear because that's not
I'm
how
not
that works. I
saying
don't think you guys. Well, go ahead. Go ahead. Finish your statement. I'll tell you that's not how
he
it.
has control, right? If he's reelected,
Yeah,
and then the Republicans gain or maintain control of the House,
yeah,
Correct.
and
yeah,
then they get control of the Senate, they're going to
yeah.
push through legislation that they
Correct.
prioritize. If they decide that this piece of legislation is a priority, immunity for police, they're going to move it forward quickly, right?
Correct.
It don't matter
That
if Democrats
that's
aren't in the.
okay. Oh, God. Okay, guys,
He's going to sign
hold
it
on,
into
hold
law.
on.
And then what?
Do
He's
you
going to
know
tell
that?
me it's not possible?
Do you know that police already have immunity right now? You know that, right?
Then why is
Do you
this
guys know
guy in
that?
jail? Then why, if he has immunity?
Because that's what I'm saying. Immunity does
He
not
didn't-
stop you from not going to jail.
Exactly.
Guys, why are we? That's what I'm saying. Trump says
So
something
what
that's
does immunity mean to
ridiculous.
you?
What?
Define immunity. Define 100% immunity.
It's
What
a
does
it's
it
a
mean to
it's
you?
a political ploy that they're using to try to appeal to that base. But
What
what
does it
So
mean?
so so
I'm
let me
not
let
saying
me
it's a
give you.
ploy.
So
What does
it's called
100% immunity mean?
I'm sure. Hold on. Immunity that police. It's called. Is it confirmed? Poli- uh
You trying to get all
Hold on.
technical about it. What does immunity mean and what does
Qualified immunity. Sorry.
100% mean?
you're
Okay, it's called
basically
qualified immunity.
police
Sorry, qualified
immunity.
immunity. Let me explain what qualified immunity means. First of all, he cannot. That's what I'm saying. We're talking about things that's not just possible. There's not like 100% immunity to police officers. That is not. It's unconstitutional. It's not possible.
If you
It's
The
change the
there's,
Constitution, it is.
Constitution, they don't give
They
a shit
changed
about the
what do you
the
mean?
Constitution.
Constitution.
You don't give what?
They
Before,
do
like,
not give a
before
shit
they,
What do you,
about the
who does not?
Constitution. Don't
no,
Who
do
it's
does
that.
not.
not give it?
No, in some cities they say that you can't. It's illegal to record police officers. Why is it illegal to record police officers? They made that law. They pushed that through. It should not be illegal
What
to
city?
record police
Like, what city? I
officers.
need to go. What city? Because I like having
You Google it
factual
yourself.
conversation. I just
Google it
you
yourself.
got to give me the city if
Google
you
it.
say that.
I
I'm
know
going to
some
check it
cities.
right
Google
now.
it. Google and see if there's any cities in America that you cannot
But
record police.
here's another thing. It says qualified immunity, right? Is if it doesn't violate your constitutional rights, then it
Exactly.
doesn't work. So it's not what everybody thinks it is, but people are going to make it. They're going. It's political. Like I said, it's political theater,
So
and people
it
are
clearly
going
states
for it.
here. Listen, it said the doctrine of qualified immunity protects the state and local officials, not only police. Because when we talk about qualified immunity, right, it can affect your state's attorney. Meaning, if she sues someone and loses, people can come back and sue her. Right? It can affect a lot of officials. Qualified. That's why the Attorney General of New York, Letitia James, when she was on the Breakfast Club, and people were saying, "Why are you not pushing for them to take away qualified immunity?" She explained to them that, "Hey guys." Qualified immunity covers me as an attorney general, so that if I think that someone committed a crime, if I think that Trump committed a crime,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm prosecuting him, I'm prosecuting because I think he committed a crime. Now, if she doesn't have qualified immunity, if she loses the case, Trump can come back and sue her personally. So what
Right.
that does, if you don't have qualified immunity, because we keep looking at it from a police perspective, no. What it means is that most people, if a woman says that someone abuses her, right, and she goes and reports to the attorney, and they prosecute someone, and he loses that case, if there's no qualified immunity on that prosecutor, what happens? I can sue the prosecutor personally, not the city. The prosecutor. So what that happens now? People will now be afraid to do their job. So forget the police. I know we want
You
to focus
can't
on
forget
police.
the
You cannot
police.
take away
You can't
qualified
forget the
immunity.
police. You can't forget the police.
No,
It's a
I'm
big thing.
saying if you're looking at the doctrine, qualified immunity, because police makes people biased. I get it, and I understand why. But qualified immunity is not just for the police.
Even
If
if
you
it's
take
not
qualified
just for
immunity,
the police, but we're saying even if it's not for the police, the fact that that's just any part of this for the police, it's a dangerous thing to have.
I don't. You
but
think
they
the
have to have
police should
quality.
just not go to
Good.
jail if that? I just think that it was something that was just put to do exactly what it's doing right now and cause miscommunication and
Yes,
confusion.
it's miscommunication. That's what I'm saying.
It's
The,
not
There's a
the
lot of
immunity
things
thing
that
is
attack Trump on, but that right there is
yes. The
miscommunication and
immunity
confusion.
it's baseless. It's like Trump says stupid things. That's a lot of times. Now, what you should talk about is that he mentioned something about Trump saying that he's going to stop taxes on tips, right? Now, how many people do we know that are Uber drivers or service work? He was just talking about it. I want people to see. I think for some reason that we pay attention to things that are shiny, and we don't pay attention to things that affect the real America. There's a real America that is not on TV, that is not on social media. There's a real America. I live in North Carolina. I see them every day. I have neighbors like that. There's a real America that doesn't understand the concept of how we look at America from a coastal perspective, from that very social. They look at America from how much do I have on the table? What am I splitting? How much tips did I get? They look at America from a very economical
But you're
perspective.
literally only
Yeah.
looking at it from an economic
That's it.
perspective.
That is
That's
nice.
it.
If
No,
you
But
poll
what
America,
other
guys,
what,
guys,
hold
the
on, hold on,
polls.
hold on. Okay.
All right, go ahead.
No, right? People don't just vote on. Yes, the economy is a big factor in why people choose to vote for a particular candidate or party. I will not dispute that. It is not the only reason, right?
The main
Social issues, right? Like, y'all maybe don't care about this, but you should. But them wanting to take away reproductive rights for women. Oh, you don't care why? Because you're not a woman. You don't think you can get somebody
No,
pregnant. What if you got some? Hold on. What if you got somebody pregnant she didn't want to be with? What if you did want to be with her? She's having a baby. Now she's having some type of issue. She can't have an abortion because whatever state you live in. You live in North Carolina, and she can potentially die. Like, you got to be bleeding out for them to say, okay, I guess we can do something to help you.
Well,
You
North
don't think that's
Carolina,
fucking ridiculous?
yeah, people got to
no.
vote. That's the thing.
I like having
You got to
factual
go vote.
conversations. But hold on. The Supreme Court, even if you elect, the Supreme Court is what ruled on that. Now, the ruled on is a state issue. So depending on what state you are, that's what you're going to vote on, right? If you live in North Carolina, you vote, I don't know what law is in North Carolina. You vote based on, it's left to the states to do that. Also, to be honest with you, I'm looking at the data. The Gallup poll is literally saying the most important things in American people is the economy. Second, the most important is immigration. Unless you guys don't like data, I'm telling you what Americans care about.
And
Nobody
I'm
cares about no
socialist.
goddamn social issues. I'm sorry, I don't. No,
Okay, you know
people
what?
in real life.
You
yo,
you
you
There's a
you
lot of
sound crazy right now, son.
support
You
Trump.
care
there's a
I
about
That's
lot
the
can't.
of
you
You know
don't
problem.
care
what?
You don't
about
want to
I
go
need
social
with
to stop.
data.
issues.
Y'all killing me
You
right
don't
now. I
say
can't. I'm not doing
you don't
this.
care about social
You,
issues.
you don't. It's not me. The data is showing you. Unless you don't want to
Where are they
believe
getting
data.
the data from? They're not
That's
getting that
my
from anybody that
issue.
live in the
But see,
hood.
this is why I don't have this. They poll people. The Gallup poll is one of the most trusted polls in America. That's how they know. Listen, it's actual
What
science, right?
person from the
So,
hood you know actually do polls?
Exactly.
You think that somebody in the hood really
Who
cares
are they
about the
polling?
economy? The people
Who
in the
are
hood
they
think they're gonna be no.
so,
polling?
The people in the hood
so
think they're
let me
gonna be
ask
broke
you,
no matter
right?
who's
So,
in office.
so
They
let
don't
me ask
care
you a
about that
question.
type of stuff.
Do
They
you know
not
what's
even
happening in Chicago right now? Do you know what's happening in New York? Let me know. Do you
violence.
know what's happening in Chicago right now?
Violence.
No,
You talking
forget
about
violence. I'm talking about violence. No, no, no,
don't forget
no.
about violence. If
No, I'm
that's
not
what's
saying
relevant.
that's
what
not what I'm talking about. This is
abortion.
I'm asking you, in the people of Chicago
Wait
right
a minute.
now.
I'm bringing
In
some other people on here. Y'all gotta go. I can't.
okay, all right.
I listen. I said I tap
I'll
out
go.
anyway. I said my
Y'all
point. I
killing
said my
me,
point.
man.
You know,
Killing me.
I said I tap out anyway. So you could. I don't know how to sign off, so you can just put me off so someone else can. I
Just
don't know how to
just
do it.
just press the X.
All right.
Oh my God. I cannot. Look, I don't mind allowing people to express their opinions, but like, just nonsense. And one thing you're not going to do is scream over me, because you can go somewhere else and do that. So if somebody else wants to come on here and has something to say, and I'm gonna put you out too for Soul Couture, since you think that shit is cute, it's not. Okay, nobody's coming over here screaming over top of me. Get the fuck out of here. Anyway, no, this ain't America, and this ain't a democracy. Take that shit somewhere else. Oh my God. Anyway, do y'all want to talk about something else? If not, I'm wrapping this shit up. That was a fucking just totally off the rails. No, you laughing at that shit. That shit is not funny. Like I said, you can vote for who you want to vote for when you live in a fucking dictatorship. I don't want to hear shit. Maybe he's used to that. I don't know. But we don't live like that here. Get the fuck out of here. Anyway, Wes, you want to come on? Y'all got me acting very. Mm-mm-mm. Okay. See, Wes, I wanted you to come on when they were still on here, but
Yo, I'm crying right now. Yo, I'm
okay, go ahead. Look, you Trump people can go ahead and get out of here, or I'm
crying.
blocking you out of here.
Yo,
I'm not doing this.
I'm
Sorry.
crying right
This ain't
now,
for
son.
you. Blocked. Blocked.
Oh,
You're blocked.
damn.
I'm
Damn.
blocking you. I don't give a fuck.
Oh,
Okay.
shots fired.
Blocked.
Shots, shots fired. That's why I told you I don't like talking
Block
politics and religion, man.
party.
Politics and
Talking
religion.
either. But see, this is the problem with me not having a specific topic to talk about. Because, I knew that politics was going to be the topic of conversation. And to be fair, I did ask because I was curious, like, what would make a Black person support a racist? Well, first and foremost, a racist. Um, and you know, obviously, he has a lot of other qualities that are, you know, less than admirable. I'm genuinely curious, and usually, the people that I've heard talk about it, it's economic related. But I'm like, he's like, are you in the 1%? Are
That,
you going to benefit from these
that
taxes?
I'm
I mean, these
confused.
tax
Yeah.
cuts?
That's what I be confused about. Like when you niggas got y'all sell T-shirts out y'all trunk, thinking y'all getting some tax cut. The fuck is y'all niggas talking about? Everybody with a small business think that they knew fucking Jay-Z and shit. Oh, tax cut, nigga, you not getting no fucking tax cut. Fuck is you talking about? Like yo,
Well,
these dudes be
no,
wildin'.
no,
Soon as a nigga get a business, all of a sudden he fucking a
Wes.
fucking multi-millionaire.
it's a dictator. This is not. This is my profile. I don't have to allow. I don't mind people not agreeing, but you can't be ignorant and yelling at me. No, get the fuck here.
Wes, what
Niggas
up,
is
homie?
niggas
Be
is crazy,
respectful, or
son.
you get the fucking stepping, and I ain't playing. You
Niggas is
heard
crazy.
me,
Every nigga with
okay?
every nigga
That's
with an
one of the
LLC want a
worst.
tax thinking to get a tax cut. Oh, I got an LLC. I hire 4 of my friends. Trump is gonna help me. No, he not, nigga. You not in that bracket. Like, what the fuck is niggas talking about? And it's crazy as Black people how we go put finance. Yo, that's been our problem since we put finance. Or niggas will sell their own mama for a fucking $200 check from the government, my nigga. It is fucking. They have no morals, no kind of nothing.
You got listen. If you want to debate with them, that's fine.
Nah,
The first guy.
that's one of the worst conversations to ever put on any platform political. I just like to laugh and play and joke, but I really don't entertain none of them
Niggas is
conversations.
crazy.
That's crazy.
Son.
That's crazy. That shit could take shit way left.
Niggas,
Nah, well, again, I don't look. I really can't understand. I cannot understand that. I can't understand that logic. But they're entitled to support who they want to. It makes no sense to
yo,
me.
but you got.
Well,
I look at it like this way. We always been like that from the beginning, right? There were Black slave catchers. There were slaves that didn't want to be free. There's it's just a mentality some of us have that we just can't focus on nothing else. You know what I'm saying? We always gonna have people that got that mentality. That's
he
just what
gonna
it is.
say no, who cares about social issues? Okay.
And being African is wild, nigga. Like you African. How the fuck you don't care about social issues after all the shit Africa had to go through? How your social radar ain't up to par?
I can't. Like
I just think when it comes to some particular subject matters, if you're not well versed in that particular subject matter, your opinion really doesn't even count. You know what I'm saying? That's just how I
But
look
that's
at it. Just
But
when
that's
you
the wild
talking
part,
about,
though, son. That's
yeah,
the wild part, right? This shit, you don't even got to be smart. That's the crazy shit about this. It's so simple. Like you don't even have like. It's not like we debating between um McCain and Obama or some shit where you be like, okay, you can parse different shit, but you don't even got to be smart to realize one nigga is an idiot racist and one person just trying to keep your rights. Like how you can't fucking balance that is I don't even understand how your mind even works like that. Like it's not you don't even got to be intelligent to understand. I don't want to lose my civil rights. I don't want cops to be able to shoot me without fucking any kind of punishment being given out. Like you don't gotta be smart to want that. That's just normal shit.
that's true.
yeah, I'm very
I,
like
I, I want my side chick to be able to get an abortion, my nigga. Like I don't understand how you can't figure that
okay.
simple
Now
shit
Yeah.
out.
you
You know
wildin',
what I'm
Hey,
saying?
please. Okay.
let me ask y'all both this. Like, skip the political aspect of everything. It just seems like when it comes to a conversation with Black people in general, no matter what the subject matter is, like sometimes we make the conversation sexist. Like, you know what I mean? Even in the political realm, you know what I'm saying? We, oh, why men are not voting for Kamala Harris? I mean, they don't have to. I mean, I'm not saying that's nothing wrong with it, but no matter what the subject matter is when it comes to Black people nowadays, it's always like men against women. You know what I mean? That's I think
Because
that's weird as fuck.
because no, but the thing is, some of it is sexism because they have. I mean, and you ought to know that that's the case because a lot of these men can't stand the idea of a woman in power, and especially, I mean, they already have issues with Black women anyway, but because they think these bitches get out of place, they too uppity. you know, they get in control. They think they run shit. They don't want to submit. They don't want to do this. They don't want to do that. That's the way some of these men think. That's why I'm not saying they think like that. I am
Mm-hmm.
saying that is why I asked them, is it that you have an issue? They don't have to vote for her, right?
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to understand, is your issue with the fact that she's a woman? Because there are absolutely men who have a problem with the idea of a woman in power. Meanwhile, men been fucking shit up for years and
Mm-hmm.
years and years. Why don't you try something different?
Yeah, I think when it was, I mean, you make a great point. I think that even around the world, like most of the men of countries, they feel as though women can't do the job that men do, which I don't
Yeah, fuck
believe.
shit up. Okay.
I just think that, you know, that's just the way that most men feel around the world. Like even in the United States of America, they will blow this motherfucker up before they let a woman get in. Is that right? No,
So
that's
they're
not
Yeah,
right.
but
You
if
know
you
what I'm saying? But
look at it, right? But if you look at it,
what we were saying is not, you're saying, well, why did these conversations have to go to like that? Because that's the way people think.
but yeah, but if you look at it, right, throughout the world, we are behind most countries. Most countries that are great had women presidents. You understand what I'm saying? Margaret Thatcher in fucking England was one of the greatest presidents they ever had. The president they had, the lady that's running, not France, was it France or Italy just elected their first woman president? Is one of those countries is just elected their first woman president that's running shit.
Mm-hmm.
So there's countries. I think Australia had a woman that's running shit that was running shit during the pandemic. I think she's still in office right now. So it's women that have done the job
no
to the. But
doubt, women are
my thing is
definitely
this.
sharp.
My thing is this, it didn't have to do with women. It could be a fucking dancing monkey, my nigga. I am not voting. I don't understand how people vote against their own shit, like your own self-interest, your own, like they done passed the motherfucking, they done bought the draft back. Who the fuck do you think getting drafted, my nigga? It's not them white people in the suburbs. It's not. You think they're gonna put white people in one box to pull from and black people from another box? They have wars planned. So when that draft come back, they coming for us, for our people. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But you talking about a tax break, you're not gonna be able to enjoy your kids. Like I don't understand how
They
your
don't
mind,
have kids, so they
your
don't
kids,
understand.
your kids about to be born with less rights than their grandparents, my nigga. If you let
That's
this shit rock.
insane.
That's crazy to me. And for you to sit up there talking about he did shit for the fucking economy, I don't even understand because he fucked up the housing market. If you own a house, you can't vote for Trump. He fucked up your whole shit. He put a cap on what you could fucking um put on your taxes to get back. He fucked that whole shit up. You're not even getting the money back that you used to before because he fucked that tax shit up for homeowners. So I don't even understand what the fuck is going on here, son. And that's what blows my mind. Like I just can't wrap my mind around this shit at all. Like how niggas' minds work.
I can't. But that was why, right? Before I did the show with Thomas a couple weeks ago, you know, I kept saying I really would like to do a show to talk to people who support Black people who support Trump because I want to understand why.
I hate them all.
Like, what is it about? No, I really wanted to understand what is it about him, right? That makes you as a Black person feel like this is my person, like this is the person that I support. I support his policies. I I couldn't
I mean,
comprehend. Like it made no sense
Stacey,
to me.
you could say the same thing about Biden. He wrote the '94 crime bill. He made racist statements when he was the governor of Delaware. He's
What
done a whole
is
bunch
it?
of shit too,
I,
huh?
I listen. I'm not disputing that. I know that that is in fact the case.
Yeah,
But
but I mean, I
do
see
you think
people
that
say
people
that all the
cannot
time.
change? Do you think that he's the same man that he was then?
I mean, if we want to go with the history of Trump, is he's been an asshole since the '80s. You know what I'm saying? So if a motherfucker
Right.
expecting
Oh,
him to get
and I
in and
guess
do something different, that's
hold on.
crazy.
And I
If they
guess we
expecting him to
forgot
get,
about. I guess how we forgot about how he said that the Central Park Five should get the death penalty. Right.
yeah,
We
no,
forgot
he
about that.
like I said, I'm not voting for nobody, so I don't never argue about politics anyway. But what I'm saying is like, you know, it's like almost like, are we going to choose between the lesser of two evils? Because a good percentage of them white motherfuckers that get in there are fucked up anyway. They don't want to see us win
Yeah,
anyway.
I agree with that, but I'd rather have a fucked up person that just go leave my shit alone. Okay, you don't want to make my shit better. Cool.
Right,
Let me ride out my shit. I'll take the white person just gonna leave my shit alone. But when you start saying, okay, when I get in there, I'm coming for your shit and I'm gonna take away your civil
right,
rights, try to take away
right,
your vote. No, that's when I have a problem with it.
right,
And
right.
that's why I don't think people are trying to connect. Oh yeah, Democrats don't do shit. I was a Democrat. I'm not a Democrat anymore. I'm a fucking independent. If you want to make them feel the pain, don't register as a fucking Democrat anymore. Let them see people leaving the party and going in the independent route. That's gonna wake them up. But just don't stay a Democrat and cry about the shit. You understand
So
what I'm saying? It's
so
ways
so
to
do,
go about this shit.
so have you believed like over the years, and this, asking both of you guys a question,
You hold on. Oh my god, why I'm like totally blanking on everybody's name. I'm sorry. Roderick. They're saying you not voting, and I agree. You not voting is voting for Trump.
nah, I
Are you
mean
not
that's
registered?
I can't put my personal business.
No, okay, never mind. Never mind.
I'm a street nigga. I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. I've always survived. You know what I mean? So that shit,
We can't
a lot of
do
that,
that, son. That's what I'm
no,
talking
no,
about.
no, no, no. What I'm saying is this, right? Like for forever. You know what I mean? And I'm only just being honest, and I'm not knocking people who vote, who don't vote, or whatever. I never worried about what was going on in the voting world because I was a person that was a part of the problem. You know what I'm saying? Now that I'm not, like I said, I just watch from afar, so I don't really have too many complaints about nothing. That's just me. I'm just speaking for
All right.
myself.
But
I don't have too many problems
then
about
why were
nothing.
you in the comments talking about, well, what's to
No,
stop
because
me
I'm
from
right.
voting for
No, no,
Trump?
no. Listen, no, I'm because it's. I think it's a person's proud. I'm tongue tied. I think it's a person's whoever a person votes
Prerogative?
for. Yeah, prerogative they can vote for. That's just like going to church. If you don't go to Bishop Wright's church, but you go to Jamal Bryant's church, like who cares? You know what I mean? They both talking about the same thing.
Okay.
Nah,
Who
son. this the problem. This the
so
problem I have. I'm gonna say
y'all
this.
can go.
Let me just
This
say
ain't
this,
no
and I'm done.
democracy. Sorry.
Let me say this, and I'm done. I'm done after I say this. I'm out of here. Right. This is the problem I have with Black America. Right. You have people, your ancestors that fucking bled and died
That
for the rights that you have right
motherfucking
now.
part.
And the way that y'all is shitting on the struggle that these people went through, like the shit don't matter. If it didn't matter, they wouldn't have went through the shit. You understand what I'm saying? Like that's the shit that blows my mind.
That is the part.
And Black Americans, what kills me is that y'all think your rights are like y'all inherit these shits like the white people. Every right you have in America had to be voted into law and passed. Every
Yeah, we've been
single one
consider us
of
a
them.
whole person,
And that
right?
and for
We're
the
three
African dudes to
fifths.
sit up here and talk about this can't happen, nigga, we was drinking from white only water fountains and black only water fountains. Votes had to be passed, legislation had to be made for that shit to go away. The same rights you have on the books right now, all they need is two more Supreme Court judges for Trump to put in there, and they could roll all that shit back. Every right you had that was written into law can be written out of law. And I don't understand why y'all don't get that shit through y'all heads. That shit is not permanent. It's written into law. So any fucking president could come in and have the right Congress and the right people behind him and go, I want all this shit gone, and it could be gone tomorrow. But y'all niggas not understanding that shit, and I don't understand why. But I'm out. I'm done, Stace. Good night.
Thank you, Wes. I
Oh
listen.
my
Mic
God.
drop.
No,
Show
I
over.
respect that. I respected that. You know what I mean? Like I said, at the end of the day, people have the right to choose whatever they want to choose and how they live their life, who they vote for. Of course, as a person, do I want my civil rights violated or whatever? Nah, I don't want none of that shit.
Not
But
violated. You won't even have any.
nah,
Any. You won't even have any.
I feel you. I feel you.
No, no,
I mean,
feel you. If you have the ability to vote, right? Like they're saying, people sitting it out, like low voter turnout favors Republicans traditionally. So that's why it's important for if you do not support that agenda, right? For us to galvanize as many people on our side to get them to the polls to vote, right? Because they're
mhm.
already, no matter the outcome, unless he wins, right? They're gonna contest it. They're gonna sue and they're gonna say, it's fraud, it was stolen. They're going to do the same old bullshit that they did the last time. They're already talking about civil war and a bunch of other bullshit because they cannot stand to lose. They cannot stand to think that people don't support the bullshit that they're trying to advance. So not voting, not showing up, not letting them know I care about my civil liberties is basically saying, well, y'all can do what you want to do. You can run amok. And then we have a fucking dictator who never wants to leave the White House.
That's, I mean, that's like I say, you make a lot of good points. Like I said, for years, I just think that all of them have talked, and when they got in, like, what have they done specifically for Black people?
What did I say earlier though? Right? Look, I'm not disputing that there are not things that should have been done, could have been done, right? Should have been prioritized, especially because yes, we did make a difference in Biden getting elected. And you whatever priorities that are probably not going to get advanced if you have split government, you need to be prioritizing them and getting them passed first. I don't remember what some of the things that they were trying to get passed, before they had or when they had the Democratic majority, excuse me. But it like police reform, I think the Voting Rights Act, yeah, that's the shit that would have impacted us.
I'm looking in the comments, and I'm lucky I'm just not an emotional dude, right? But when people make the statement, because you don't do this, you don't do that, you want the ops to win or this, that, and the third. I think a lot of times people just be fucking talking. People just talk out of emotions. They don't understand policy. They don't understand shit. People just be talking. So like I said, if a person wants to vote for Trump, if a person wants to vote for Kamala Harris, if a person wants to vote for Biden, that's their prerogative. That's just what
Of
that's what
course,
they need to
it's their
do.
prerogative, but the whole point is for them to be informed about why they're doing it, not just doing it blindly. Yes, personally, I feel like people should have to take a civics test before they vote because a lot of people vote just based on party. And yeah, certain like I feel like the Democrats, while maybe they should be trying to earn our vote, have their policies are more representative of my belief system. So I'm more inclined to vote with them. Do I agree with everything they do? Absolutely not. But once again, no party is going to give you everything you want. They're just not.
That's
But
true.
but
That's
like I
true.
said, the more you are invested, you cannot just go to the poll and vote. That's the first step. You have to continue to apply pressure to these politicians and elected officials and get the people in your community to do the same. Say, these are our priorities. If you don't work to try to get our priorities advanced or some version of our priorities advanced, we're not voting you back in office. You're going to lose your job. Anyway, Haas and Paul, you should come on here together. I don't know if Paul's still on here, but because I'm gonna wrap up in a few minutes. I can't. Y'all done got my blood pressure up.
Nah, I was just listening and looking, but this is crazy. Politics is a serious subject matter that will take a person through the roof. It will make people emotional. It will just create all types of things. You know what I mean? This shit is crazy.
Nah, it definitely is. But that's why
This shit crazy.
that's why I typically try to avoid um that's why I typically try to avoid this conversation
Yeah,
because
no,
it's too
no more
contentious.
politics.
Bring back hip hop Jeopardy.
Well, I wanted to do something that was completely unrelated to politics, but because again,
It's a hot topic, though.
I
It's a hot topic. You know what
know
I'm
it's a
saying?
hot topic, but it's a hot topic, and somebody's gonna make me blow a gasket, and I'm trying to
Here's the
maintain
thing.
my
Here's the thing.
composure.
And here's the thing. And I've been in many, and if I was still on here, I'll tell you, we've had many
I
heated
don't see him
discussions.
anymore.
We've had many heated discussions about the things. What are you going to do? Like right now, if you want to support Kamala, like I'm campaigning. I'm going to campaign in Philly. I'm going to let you know I'm in Pennsylvania, Becky. Jersey. I'm like, yo, we gotta just put the support. Like, it's time now. It's just time to stop talking, and everyone's gonna pick a side. And what are you gonna do to get people to vote? Because we have to galvanize people to vote. Whether it's people from the white women who we need their vote because there's things that we have to say that's relatable to them, like their bodies and feminism and stuff like that. Then there's the LGBTQ community. We have to say what appeals to them.
That part,
Black people,
because they
Black
won't
people,
take
that's
their
a
right
big
to wait
community.
too.
That's a huge community. We have to appeal to them. So
Stacy,
what are
that's
you
your
going to do
mom
to
in
galvanize
there.
us? Yeah,
Yeah.
Mama G be ready to
Yeah,
knock somebody out for Stacy.
yeah.
Mama G will knock you out for
Yeah, yeah,
Stacy.
yeah, 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 yeah. I
So
see
what are we
she
going
real
to do?
passionate.
What are we going to do? That's it. What are we going to do?
Who
It's
should she
like put
pick
up
as
or
her
shut up
VP
time.
candidate? Okay, so we can talk about our girl real quick, and then I'm wrapping this up because y'all done. I'm telling you, man, y'all done got my pressure up, my pressure.
You don't even let it get you like that, man. Don't let it get you like that. People got
She
their
ready
opinions,
blow
man.
a whole
Yeah,
gasket.
that's April. She is an Aries, man.
Like
She is
I
an Aries.
literally, I listen. I feel like this is like House of Dragons, and I'm, like breathing fire over you. Y'all's killing me, man.
Nah, man.
Right,
Don't let it
but
get
What
you
are
like
the
even
that.
what is the dragon's
I'm
names?
saying even if a person is
Sunfire.
making their
No,
point or whatever they
some
believe in,
fire died.
I just think that people should kind of contain their emotions. Like, if that's just like the brother on here, if he may make a statement about who he's voting for or what he believe in or what he like or what he dislike, I mean, people should, we can agree to disagree. Let's move on to the next topic. You know what I mean? We don't have to, you're being atomic. You feel what I'm saying? We don't have to do that because it takes away from the depth of the conversation. And nobody can, you know what I mean? Because many people may respect your opinion. Many people may respect your opinion, Stacey, Dale's opinion, or whoever's opinion. We just got to keep emotions calm and just sometimes just listen, to what people are saying because we all are not going to always agree
No,
on things.
you're absolutely right. But what you're not gonna do
Is overtalk the host.
They don't know her.
I,
That's why.
look, because I gave you your opportunity to talk, but now you rambling. Okay, wrap that shit up now. Now, okay, and then you want to overtalk me. Then you want to raise your voice. Oh, we is not doing that. Goodbye. We is not doing that. I'm looking around like I'm not sure who you talking to because you damn sure ain't talking to me. You did.
Can I ask both of y'all a question?
Yes.
Do y'all think as a people, do y'all think we're connected are we only connected when there's an issue or when there's politics involved? Or do you think we are connected as a whole?
No, we're not. That's the problem.
That's the problem. But let me tell you, everything is political though. Whether it's like political, like in a way of political, but it always comes back to political. And the guy, the African dude, I just can't believe that he was saying the stuff he was saying. You know what I'm saying? Like it just a lot. Listen, my parents. I'm first generation American. My parents are West Indian. I came to this country, so my parents are like the hard work. The hard work stuff. But when I was younger, I used to always be so angry and talk about like rights, civil rights, and West Indians are more like work hard. Go to work hard, and when the young generation be like, yo, it's not really about that. Like, and there's a lot of fight in the younger generation. So we implemented those type of things in growing up with hip hop. Hip hop taught us to rebel and stuff like that. But then once, just to kind of go on the hip hop thing a little bit,
Yeah.
once we started galvanizing people through hip hop about
Right.
being more political, about being more socially conscious and stuff like that, they just came in and they just like, basically, opted
E-
the whole thing. You know what I'm saying? And now now we don't have the young people don't have that same type of energy and drive politically and socially.
even with hip hop, I'm glad that you brought hip hop into it. I think that hip hop, when we were growing up, hip hop meant one thing. The message was totally different. People rapped about what they were going through back then.
True.
Now it's just like the music now is more so. It's killing the culture. The message is kill, 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 drug, drug, drug. You know what I mean? It's got out of hand. So a lot of people, when it comes to hip hop, people don't listen to people don't, a lot of us don't listen to mainstream hip hop. We may listen to it for the beat or whatever, but to actually listen to what a lot of those young brothers and sisters are saying, a lot of them are really not saying not anything. They just
Most
mumbling.
of them are.
And so, that was also, back then, they also preached a message back in early hip hop to vote, self-destruction. They talked about all of that back in the early stages of hip hop. Nowadays, this is like hip hop is actually where it was once a vehicle to bring us together. Now it's become like a fucking stolen car. Like, what I mean? It's just erratic. It's just going
I
everywhere.
mean, the thing about it, that's part of the diaspora of Black people, like drugs in the community, the violence and stuff. That was part of the storytelling, So like when NWA came out and they kind of like they kind of was like saying it as like this is our story, and then it just got co-opted in corporate America. It's like, yo, and they just ran with it, and they just kind of, because they co-opted it, it's not their story. They kind of like infiltrated and made it something, and they glorified it. But that was part of the story, though. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not mad at NWA. Like, I banged that album crazy. That Ice Cube Death Certificate, you know what I'm saying, was more like the like kind of like showing both sides from a more intellectual point of view. But those are the type of things that's needed in the music, because again, when I heard Edutainment for the first time, I started like, I didn't know a lot of the people that he was quoting and stuff like that. I started reading those type of books, and it, you know, opened my eyes to a lot of stuff socially. But we don't
Hold
have
on,
it
what are
anymore.
y'all talking about? I don't even know what's going on
We just
anymore.
talking
I'm
about
like,
hip hop.
We're just talking about you looking
We
at the
just talking about,
comments.
yeah.
They didn't
yeah,
wore your whole brain out. They didn't wore your
I'm
whole brain
tired
out.
now. Y'all done got on my nerves. So
Listen, man, you
it's
can't
too
be
late.
letting, but you can't be letting people get you like out
You
of
let
pocket like
people
that.
get
It's like,
boys.
yo,
You
that's
let
their
people just
opinion.
push
No,
that button and send you
I
crazy.
know what the thing is. I know that I can't do that, but
Right.
it's either I'm gonna let you just keep talking nonsense, or I'm gonna have to interrupt you. And if when I try to interrupt you, you're not like, you won't stand down. Now I gotta, now I gotta turn
Push
into.
push that little X and just get their ass
I
out of there.
can't,
Just
like,
that's simple.
see, if I do that, it closes out the whole thing. Like,
Okay.
otherwise
So
I
it's
would.
not like a zine.
Well, no, but
It's
to
not
be
like a zine.
fair though, but look, I'm not trying to be rude to them. Like, yeah, okay, I might have like interrupted them at certain points, because if you're talking too long, I'm like, okay, like I want to shift the conversation, right? But you came here. This is my shit. So if you want to go talk shit over on your page, you can get on live and rant and rave and talk about why you want us. You can go do that somewhere else.
Motherfucker
I asked you a
gotta bring a
question.
bulletproof vest when they come and talk to you, boy. You go boo 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 boo.
Well,
I asked a question that was gonna be, controversial. Like, why would you vote for him?
So if you got the response you got, it shouldn't have made you emotional. You know what I'm
No,
saying?
but it's not. It wasn't even because of. I mean, yeah, some of what they were saying, I'm like, okay, I don't. But like I
well,
said, what you're not gonna do is, I'm letting you talk. You're rambling on. Okay, I'm not saying I never ramble, but it's my shit. So
I got a question. Then I got a question. The shift from the politics, right? You know, I'm gonna keep it hip hop right now. Where do you place They Not Like Us in a top five, in a all time list of diss records? Because I hear them people saying it's number one.
no,
It ain't my number one. I just want to
It
see
no.
ain't.
what
It's
I
definitely
just want
not
to see
number
what
one. I'm tired of
it ain't.
hearing
I
that
just want
shit.
to know, but I want to see what people think, because I want to see where it ranks in the top tens and the top fives. Some people are saying one. One vehemently disagree as one. It's a nice movement, but I just want to see where people think it ranks in a top five and a top 10. Where does it rank? They Not Like Us.
I would rank it in probably like maybe I would put it in the top 10 because I actually the like what he did. He unified some shit. You know what I'm
Yeah, I
saying?
give him credit for that.
And he definitely unified some shit. So I'll definitely put it in the top 10. But to put it in the top five, like hell no.
What's your top five diss tracks?
LL and Cannabis,
That was a banging one. Yes.
Jay-Z and Nas.
I mean, you talking about the battle. I'm talking about the record, because like it's Ether and then there's Takeover.
I
So you put them
mean,
both in top five. I'm not talking about the
yeah, no,
battle.
no,
I'm
no,
talking
no,
about
no, no.
the records.
The records, you know, I would put Jay and Nas probably at number one. I would put them at
Damn,
number
you put
one.
them that high, huh?
Yeah, I would put Jay and Nas because they started a whole they 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 they
Somebody,
they they
so,
they 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 st- to me, I think Nas, you know, definitely
Ether,
shut Jay out. He
Ether.
shut
Yeah,
Jay ass out.
I
He
agree with
the
that.
Jay ass
Somebody
out.
said
He
no
shut Jay ass
Vaseline.
out.
What
Ether,
you
No,
put no
oh yeah,
Vaseline?
oh yeah, yes, oh yeah. You gotta go with
Ether,
that one. What?
No
hit
Vaseline.
him up.
Takeover.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
No Vaseline is like up
what
there. Then you got the
the fuck
bridges
is this
over. You
weird
got the
ass
bridges over.
filter?
I mean, I was
The
gonna say that
the
when I was
bridges
going, but
over.
you definitely got to put no Vaseline in that top
No
three.
Vaseline is in top. Yeah, no Vaseline is in my top three. Is in
You
my
got
top
you got
three
to definitely
personally.
put that
I
in
mean,
the
he took out
top
a
three.
whole. He took out the most fair crew by himself, just from that alone. You know what I'm saying? He did it
I,
dolo.
I
I mean,
I
damn.
don't feel like Not Like Us can be in the top five, just because, I mean, like, it's like, I agree
Chopper Jim on
with
them.
Roderick that it was a movement, and
Yeah, it was a
obviously
movie.
it's the most current, But
What
no,
do y'all think about that Common and
bitching.
Pete Rock album? I think that's fire.
what's that?
The
Oh,
Common
I
and Pete
haven't
Rock
heard that.
album. You got here, Stace. That's a good album, and the Dog Pound album is definitely a good album too.
I,
Have you heard it, Paul?
no, I
Yeah,
went to the show. I went to the free concert in Brooklyn, and you know they did mostly like a lot of their old joints. They rocked over different beats, but I didn't really get a chance to like soak it in and listen to the album. So I don't want to say anything about it till I give it a good listen. So I heard mixed reviews. Some people like, yo, it's fire. Some people like, oh, it's like a doze fest. But one thing in common is everyone says it's like grown man rap. It's like I love Little Brother, and Little Brother is grown man rap. So if it's like on some Little Brother type shit, then I can definitely rock with it.
I mean the Nas and Common album is on some '90s hip hop,
Yeah, I mean,
like 90, his
understand
flow,
people like that.
the flow, the whole cadence is on some '90s hip hop shit. Like it's definitely a tough album. Eminem, I don't think I've ever listened to an Eminem album, but I would never discredit him from hip hop. But I've never listened to an Eminem record or an Eminem. I've
Neither.
listened to songs that
Nice.
I've liked, but not never a record.
I
Never a record.
Sean, you got a lot to say. Why don't you? Sean saying that not like us, because not even in the top 50. Now you wilding a little
Yeah.
bit with
Now,
that. I
I mean,
mean,
come on
because it's
now.
you know what it is about not like us. It's more
Is it
than a
like?
diss record. It's a movement. Yeah, the beat. When I first
Yeah,
heard, I was like, but it's become such a movement, and the way, like you said, he united like the Crips and the Bloods, and like this pride
yeah.
in L.A. I mean, it's bigger than the actual diss record now. You know what I'm saying? You got to put it in. You got to put it somewhere. It's not in my top three though. I'm gonna say you got to kind of find somewhere to put it in there historically.
No, I ain't never listened. What do y'all?
And
What do y'all?
and
You know who I
and,
miss? I miss
and
the boot camp clip. I miss the boot camp
look,
clip.
yep.
I
And
miss that
yeah,
shit.
boot camp that's my shit. But wait, before I go on, cause I'm looking to see the comments. People be forgetting about that Beanie Siegel Jada Kiss battle, and
Yeah,
that was an
I didn't
epic
know what you
one.
were talking about when you
To
That
brought
to
that
was
up.
to
epic, and they was
to me,
throwing blows. Both of them was throwing blows.
to me, I don't think that I guess Beanie fucked his own career up, but Beanie was definitely in the top 10 MCs. You
Oh
know,
yeah, yeah. Beanie's
Beanie
nice.
was
Beanie's nice.
definitely in the
Beanie
top 10
nice.
MC, and Beanie has had some hot albums. You know what I'm saying? Like Beanie, I don't know what he did with his career, but I'm gonna tell you who I don't like though. I liked his album. To me, Freeway can't rap to me. He can't
I
rap to me.
agree.
Nothing he says rhymes or he just I don't know.
Your boy Michael would definitely have a debate with you on that because when he was on here last week, he said
Man,
that he thought.
Freeway's
Hold on, he
yeah.
said that he thought that Freeway was the best MC on Rockefeller besides Jay Z.
Hell
What?
no.
And these are my people
Hell
from
no.
Philly.
Hell no. Like I think the best MC that come out of that Philly camp to me is Beans. I think
Yeah,
Beans is
Beans is a
that best
problem.
thing that come out that Philly camp. Even in Rockefeller period, I think I would say Beans. In that Diplomat crew, I would say Cam. I would say Jewels. You know what I mean? It was Freeway is damn as at the goddamn bottom. He had one hit
Yeah,
record. That I
yeah.
mean,
He
one
that record. That's
album
a
that
big
was the
record. That was
shit.
a big record.
That album
record
was the shit.
Yeah,
That
I
album
ain't
was
gonna
the
say the
shit.
album. That record was a big record. He had that
That
that's like a
album was
Philly.
the shit.
That's a Philly
Yeah,
anthem, you
it's
know.
not
But
just a
yeah,
Philly anthem. It's an anthem.
yeah, it's
It's
an
an
anthem.
anthem.
Stacey,
That's
did
a
you
dope.
did, did
That's a
you
dope.
did you
Yeah.
fuck with Sean P when he was living?
I know.
Sean Price,
He loved him.
Don't even
he
ask
was
me
the
about Sean
shit.
Price, because I'm about to
Yo,
go on the
Sean Price is the
whole.
shit.
Don't
Sean
even.
Price is the
Everybody
Oh,
shit.
know me how
Lord,
I
all
feel about
right.
Sean Price. You know,
Sean
everybody
Price
know.
is the shit. Sean
That's
Price
my
is the
dude.
shit.
That is my dude right there. Sean Price is my
Let
dude.
me ask
So
y'all this: do y'all think that hip hop will ever come back to the East Coast?
it's not. But see, the reason I say no, it's not. It's because it's regional now. Now it's like there's no. But back in the day, like you knew when somebody was from the West. You knew when someone from down south, someone from New York. Now everybody try to sound like one big mosh pit, and it's not really a regional thing. Midwest was so different from down south. You know what I'm saying? And West Coast. So I don't think it's ever gonna go back to
I agree.
regional.
I agree with you, homie, in that aspect. But when it comes to music, it's people in New York putting out music, but most of the music is basically on the West Coast and down south right now.
No, it's just all you know what it is. It's just it's how it used to be. It's you have to access it. You can't just now you have to go look for it because there's a lot of
I
stuff on the underground. You just have to look
respect
for
that.
it.
He
But
said the industry promotes who they want to be had. I'll agree
right,
with that.
that's what I'm
But
saying.
I mean, but who's came out of New York that's been hot in a minute? Like who's came out of New York that was hot in a minute?
I
Thought I
mean,
was
the
Except
young
the
feeling
other,
you. I
huh?
said you thought I was feeling you. Ice Spice.
oh no, come on, man.
I ain't never even heard
I
that
mean,
from
Pop,
real
you
estate.
know, Pop Smoke, obviously
You think you the
Griselda,
shit? You're not even a
Griselda
fart.
is
Now I'm gonna say
Griselda is
they the
like for
shit. They
us.
the shit.
You
They
know what I'm saying? But
Griselda. They when during the pandemic, each one of them came out with at least 2-3 albums a piece. Like
yeah, but
their whole clique is just a monster. That
Benny
ASAP movement is
the
cool.
Butcher.
Benny the Butcher, he's definitely out
Yeah,
there.
but they're not like nobody's like us. I like Joey Badass. I mean, but I like him. You know, I like him as an actor, and he's fine.
But you know
Um,
what? There's no like groups though. You know, like they just got the
Ooh,
industry
Nell
got rid
made
of
a good
groups.
point. Nell said East Coast tries to mimic other areas to sell records.
areas,
I believe that's true. Areas. I think that's true because
areas.
the New York sound. Like where you from, brother? Jersey?
Yeah, yeah,
Like North?
yep, yep.
Okay.
I mean, I'm
Like
not
Tretch
from
and
North,
them
but
like
yeah.
the hottest shit that came out of North. But anyway,
Who?
like
Who?
Tretch,
No, Treasure
naughty
is
by
where
nature.
I'm from. Treasure's from
Yeah,
East Orange.
East Orange,
Red
but I'm saying even at
Man's from
Red
North.
Man North, yeah, Red Man North. Queen Latifah is North or
From
East
Dot.
Orange.
Say it
He
again.
asked if Queen
Queen Latifah is
Latifah.
is from North, East Orange,
She's
or Irvington.
Irvington North, but she
Yeah,
claimed
Irvington.
North. She claimed North. She claimed North. So Latifah North do it all like Lords of Underground, you know, Red Man, Outside. There's a lot of North people. Rod Digger,
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So I mean North got a lot of people like East Orange is known for like Naughty by Nature is known for East Orange. I mean East Orange is the one
I think
who
nobody
promoted.
talks about the underground MCs like Molly Man, Jean Grey. Like nobody talks about the underground MCs. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you got to
I
be a
think
real hip hop head for that. Like you got like I know who Jane Grey is, but I guarantee you the people on this post like some people might know, but they don't really know. Like
Okay, you
that's for real
know
hip
what?
hop heads.
Y'all will continue this conversation on another night. I've
all
had
right.
enough of this shit.
Well, stay black, Stacey. They drained you. Stay black.
Wrap this shit up, B.
No, I'm gone. I'm out of here. I'm gone. I'm ready to watch fucking TV. It's good.
Sorry, I
It's
know,
Yo,
good
I
chat with
know. I
y'all.
was super Aries tonight. Y'all done got on all my nerves. Sorry. Thank you for joining me
well,
though. Not you guys. I'm just saying, just in general, that whole
yo, you gotta chill, yo, chill.
I
Don't
know,
be letting them
but
take you out of pocket,
I,
man. You
I
can't be letting
know,
people take you out of
I
pocket
know,
like that.
but that's
Again, they were
why
saying they were ignorant to some the dude, but see the dude with the lives that came out first. A lot of stuff he said I didn't agree with, but he presented well, you know what I'm saying? I didn't agree with anything he said, but he had his points, like I like having those type of discussions. I think a lot of them like weren't that like, I don't think he made a lot of sense what he was saying, but he presented, you know what I'm saying? Presented well, he wasn't getting emotional.
I
You can't
know
always get emotional.
Taylor. I know Taylor, and I know that. First of all, I know that sometimes he purposely trolls. I do think that he believes, um, he's more aligned with like conservative principles, but at the same time, like I said, I invited people to come here. Well, I didn't really invite them, but since we were on here without a topic, I did ask people. I was curious, like what would make you compel you to vote for somebody whose platform is so like overtly racist and like so anti-black and blah blah blah, right? And usually it's related to something economic. But I was
That's a
I was
fact.
honestly curious. But like I said, it's the talking like and the loud talking over me. You already know I ain't going for that. So
That's the sad part. The fact that people put money over like policies like that like democracy. That's the part that I can never get. But
I can't either. But again, I asked for the opinions. So I'm saying, okay, tell me where you're coming from, but you can't like yell and scream at me on here. But we not doing that.
all
And
right, well,
and you know that You already know how I am, so you already know I'm not going to respond to that like, okay. No.
Well, it was a nice fiery show, so I'm sure you have some
I'm not
nice
saving this
clips.
shit. Y'all done got on my damn nerves. Anyway,
No, there's some good debates, man. You can have some good clips out of it. Trust me,
did you ask if
some
I
good clips.
have a temper? No.
No, she doesn't
At
have
all.
a temper.
Not at all.
No,
Not even a little bit.
Stacey. No temper at all. I think you should make a clip. I think you should. The clips would be. There's some good clips in there. I'm telling you. People need to see that stuff, man. Like
I don't I don't want
this is
to
a
see me.
historic election, man.
It is a
This is historic.
I don't want them see, look, I like to be prepared, with my talking points. Right?
No,
So I would have if I had a feeling that politics was gonna come up, but I wasn't really sort of prepared to get really in depth with it, or I would have had more, you know, but like even when I did the show a few weeks ago, I had the guy on because I follow it for sure, right? But I can't like outline every single point on their platform like that. I can tell you generally why I'm going to vote for, you know, the Democrats or Kamala over Trump. But if we're going to get into a tit for tat, then yeah, I want to speak from a place of being informed, not just emotion,
right.
because that's the direction that it was going in, and I did not like
And
that.
I gotta say that I think I said in the chat that I had to stand corrected on the recording thing. They kept trying to appeal it, but it never went through because it's the First Amendment, right? But they were trying to push legislation to have recordings illegal, but they never was able to pass it through. So I was wrong about that. So if the African dude was watching, he was right. It never went through. But they were trying to push it, and I'm sure if Trump was
Well,
in
once
office, he would
again,
definitely try to push for it.
I'm not in alignment with that, platform. I'm not in alignment with that party, with their perspective. I'm not in alignment with any of that. So I for sure was not going to agree with most of what they said. I do understand that not all Black people are the same, or have to think the same, or have to vote the same. But you're not going to come on here over talking and yelling. And when I said okay, and I'm trying to interrupt you, not you like that's no.
All right.
That's
Well,
what we not gonna do. You dig me. Okay. Anyway.
and they're gonna bring Mama G up here, and
Yeah,
she's gonna
she
have
was
to
like,
punch
God,
somebody in the face.
damn. I'm like, all right, mom,
That was funny.
relax.
You need to have her on the show. Let her be on the show.
Yes, but when you have the ladies on, they got to be
Right?
prepared because they want to
Yeah.
come on looking cute.
Right.
So anyway.
Exactly.
All
All right.
right.
It was
Anyway.
fun. It was
Thank
real.
you for joining. Wait, hold on. I was quick to hit that cancel button when people get out of line. Exactly, self-made baller, but I think that whatever. Anyway.
Sean should have been on it. I don't know why
Well, I
he
can
never comes on.
only have so many people on here at a time.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
and I want to get out of here. So thank you to everyone who joined, even if you was trying to talk over me. If you ever want to come back here, just make sure, one person talking at a time, please. Thank you.
all right.
Okay, so Hip Hop Jeopardy coming back soon. Oh, damn, what you like? Okay. Oh, that was chaotic. Thanks for joining. Y'all have a good night, and I guess I'll see you next week. Bye.